Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Manic Energy. Today, Katie Brooks and I are joined by Ally Johnston and Taylor Scherz. I'm Ryan Swar, and this is Manic Energy, a podcast that dives into the fast-moving world of energy, business, and the people powering it all. From bold ideas to real-world innovation, we're talking breakthroughs, market moves, and the community shaping what's next. Whether you're building for the future or just here for the fun, welcome to the chaos. So, Taylor, Ally, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
In unison.
For you. Which one is older?
I am older, 1 minute.
1 minute older.
But it's a funny story.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Right in.
I was supposed to be born first. We were coming out naturally, but I got stuck. They had to stop emergency C-section. She was on top, so she was out first.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she like holding onto a leg or
Yeah,
something?
right.
Like,
I
just
was
like
Pulls her back
pulling
in.
your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 1 minute older and
And like a half inch taller.
okay.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
So have you always been identical twins?
yes, we have, yeah. As far as we know.
Well, welcome to the show and thanks for being here. And today we're going to talk about some silly things, some serious things, but maybe for some background. Taylor, you and I work together with Katie at Lake Superior Consulting. Taylor, you're a project management director with the company. And Ally, your background?
So I am a general manager of a manufacturing facility up in Two Harbors called The Bounty. We make big scrap shears and other attachments for the recycling and demolition industry.
Awesome.
Yes.
So what were tell me about your background. So we started, I think, at an early age.
We started day one.
Moments. I don't think we need to go earlier than that.
Yeah.
Even though you may remember, I don't know. But what was it like growing up in childhood as identical twins?
It was interesting. We were pretty competitive, always into sports, always kind of competing against each other. But we also, we're best friends.
Yeah, we were always best friends, but we'd also fight really hard. Like, you think siblings fight, like twins take it to a whole new level of competitiveness and, getting mad at each other for absolutely nothing. So we have that nailed down for sure.
Still?
Yeah, for sure.
We're better now that we're older.
Yeah. We're a little more mature.
But not
about
always.
It.
Our husbands will sometimes be like, why are you guys fighting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, it was really fun growing up, always having a buddy, always having a friend.
Yes, we were lucky.
So you guys were always in similar activities together, same circle of friends.
We had different circles, but we did like the same things for the most part.
Okay.
Like same sports. We both, we enjoyed school. We enjoyed like student council type stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say we were in all the same sports though, aside from a small divergent in high school. But pretty much same activities.
Yep.
Our friends that we've known since we were, young kids are, I think they enjoyed having twins as friends.
It's different, right? Were there a lot of other kids in your school or in the community or where you grew up that were also identical twins, or are you kind of rare?
No, it's actually kind of funny. Both in high school and college, we've been surrounded by twins. So in high school, there was like an alley of lockers, and there was 4 or 5 sets of twins with the last name starting with G or H, which is our maiden name. So there was a lot of twins there. And then in college, there was actually 7 sets of twins on our college track and field team at one time.
Mm-hmm. That's wild.
College, 7 sets of twins, so 14 total.
Yes.
In college track and field.
And how big
on
is
the
your
team.
track and field? Like that must have been half of.
Was there like a flyer that went?
Calling all twins.
Yeah, we joked that the coach did it on purpose because if he could get one recruited, he could get the other.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like basically
Two
a
for
one.
philosophy.
Yeah.
And then the funny story about me is one of the twins on the track team I ended up marrying. So I married an identical twin
Wait
as
a
well.
second.
Yes.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what happens when an identical twin marries an identical twin, but that's crazy. Is it a genetic thing? Just educate me a little bit. So, the fact that you're a genetic twin, you have a twin and he has a twin, does that make you more likely to have twins?
No.
Identical twins aren't hereditary.
I should know that.
Yeah.
I probably learned that at one point.
Yeah. A lot of people ask
Okay.
that.
Interesting. So no twins in your family.
Not that we know of.
No, our cousin has twins.
Oh, yeah.
She just had
Identical
yes.
or no?
Nope, fraternal.
Nope, fraternal.
Mhm.
And is that one hereditary?
Yes, I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, I think if we want to get into the science, I'm not sure if we should, but I believe
I'm no
that's
expert.
when multiple eggs.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how that one works. Whereas our eggs split.
Okay. Interesting.
Don't fact check me on that though. I'm not sure.
It's been a while since I looked into this. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of twins at Lake Superior Consulting too, right? Like several families have identical twins.
Oh,
Yeah, lots of
yes.
kids. Yeah.
Not employees, but
employees.
yep.
But yeah, individuals with children right around the same age, like Cole, Jake, Cole Lundgren, Jake Hoffman.
Yep.
Ryan
Stein.
Steve Schlenvo.
Yeah. There's more. Rob Floria.
I was like, you can't miss someone.
yeah.
They'll know.
Yeah, I know. They're going to really give me a hard time.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So you guys went to high school, similar activities, college, went to the same college then, obviously.
We did.
Different degrees though, right?
No,
Same degree.
So was that like back in college or back in high school and you're making that decision of where you want to go? Was it like, well, we're going together, obviously, or did it just happen?
I don't know that we had the end goal of for sure being together, but I think deep down we knew it was going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had similar interests. We both really enjoyed math, and we kind of knew we were going to go into engineering, and there's not that many schools in Minnesota that offer engineering. We wanted to stay close to our family somewhat.
And that we wanted to do a sport.
Yeah.
So kind
of limited
options.
options.
Wound up at UMD.
Was one of you like better than the other in a certain sport?
Yes.
And then
Absolutely.
a better engineer?
Are you going to agree on who was better?
Well, we've talked about it.
Okay.
All right. We don't need to know if you don't want to admit it live. And
we ran track in college, and it was like she was clearly the better
clear
runner.
measurement metrics.
I was clearly the better like kind of field athlete. So like in the track and field, she had the track, I had the field. So we agree on that.
Okay.
It's like ham and egg in it.
That's nice.
good.
But like soccer, no, we would not agree on who's better.
That's not a good question.
Soccer's dynamic. I mean, if you're both running, like whoever wins the race more commonly and has lower times or gets better, you can. There's a clear. We understand. There's a clear rule of who wins. If you're on the same team in soccer, you just can't. There's no measurement metrics.
Right. Yep.
But engineering, did you work together, like study together, get ready for tests together? Are you in different classes?
We didn't have all the same classes at the same time. We did have some classes together.
She did more advanced math in high school than I did, so she was always a little bit ahead of me, which was convenient for like books and stuff and sharing. But
sharing notes.
So even though we did the same degree, we didn't
idea.
have that many classes together.
Did you guys live together in the dorms? Like, were you roommates? And like just 2-person, or were you in one of the suites where there's other people?
No, just
us two.
Just you two.
And we almost weren't going to. I don't know if you remember this, but then we shared so many clothes and things, and like my parents would have had to buy like 2 of this and 2 of that. So it just made more sense to live together. And
I'm like learning things. This is great because you could have like one set of sweatshirts and just not be like, you don't have to wear the same one every day. You can just kind of, I suppose any friends can do that.
It's funny because we were talking about clothes before, and sometimes like I'll just go over to Taylor's house and be like, I need new clothes for work. Like I'm so sick of my clothes, and I'll just shop in her closet and just take a bunch of her clothes home for a little bit.
There you go. Are your feet, are your feet the same size? Because that's nice too.
Yeah.
There you go. Shoes, everything. Cool.
It's nice that trend, you know, I mean, I've got a sister stealing clothes out of her closet. Sizing wasn't but that ended as soon as we, went separate ways, college, whatever. But you guys still have that going on.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
There are things that I've had for years of Ally's that she's like, is that mine? I'm like, no, it's been too long. It's now.
Yeah, you've commandeered it.
Yeah.
So, Ally, do you know that I've said hi to you, Ally, many times, and you snub me most often?
I usually try to just smile when someone says hi to me because I know that they might have thought I was Taylor.
Yeah, when Taylor first started at LSC, like I didn't know her very well. She was this new person that came from one of our customers, and there's a couple times where I've seen clearly you in public because I'm like, oh hey, hi, and then you're usually like, hey. You just keep walking by me. I'm like, well, is Taylor mad at me? Like, what did I do wrong? And then it's like, should I say something? Do I say something tomorrow at work? I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. That's weird. I'm not gonna address that. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to talk to like Dave and be like, something going on with Taylor. I saw her
just
family.
not
She's
friendly.
I think it was seriously like, it happened many times before somebody, maybe Dave Johnson or somebody told me, he's like, well, you know, Taylor has an identical twin, right? I'm like, well, how the hell would I know that? Like, this is news to me. Is there no memo that goes out and tells a person that, hey, be cognizant of the fact that you might see this person's sister in public or in the wild, and have them think you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
But that happens to you a lot, right?
Yes.
I felt terrible. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It
both
happens
ways.
all the time.
Yeah. I know a lot of Taylor's coworkers from LSE purely because they thought I was Taylor. And then I'll be like, what's your name? I'll tell Taylor I said hi. But yeah,
That's a
sometimes
nice way
I
to
forget.
Yeah.
confront that, like correct.
But do you play tricks on people or have you played tricks on people? Is there
Did
any
it
kind of,
more
I
when
don't
we
know.
were younger.
Yeah. We
Not so
don't.
much anymore, but like when we were young, in school, and our teachers were in on it.
Oh, they loved
wanted,
it.
They wanted to trick the other students and kids. And
Whoa.
so one of us would like go to the other classroom and like have to bring back a book. And then the other one would come back, sit down at the desk and see how long it would take for somebody to notice that it wasn't one of us or the one it was supposed to be.
Awesome.
So
And
yeah, we did that a lot.
growing up when like Lindsay Lohan's Parent Trap came out.
Oh, yeah.
That was inspiring. Yeah.
We watched that since then, actually, like recently with Ally's younger
Ours, yeah.
girls.
And we were big like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Oh yeah. Because that was like
probably even
that was
closer.
prime time
Yep.
of when
Yeah.
they were big. And so they were a big deal to us.
You're
I'd love
lost
to-
in this one.
I'd love to say that I don't know what you're talking about, but I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
It's hard to lie about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not recently, though. I don't know. I can't really remember it very well.
Uh-huh.
I know I've talked to at least one of our employees that has identical twins that said they were together a lot, like even through preschool, and then they actually intentionally separated them. Did that ever happen?
Yeah, we
Yep.
were in kindergarten together, and then our parents kind of made sure that we were always in different classrooms.
Yeah.
So that we
Which was
wouldn't-
smart, I think.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have made other friends, I don't
That's
think.
right. You just kind of become
Yeah.
We would
Each other's
have
best
best
friend.
friends.
Mhm.
That happened anyway, right?
It
sounds
did.
like-
It did.
Well, and now you guys did not grow up in Duluth, but you both reside here now.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
college is over. Then conscious decision, we're staying here.
No, actually.
Like
Ally
I got a job here at a manufacturing company over in Superior. So I was staying here. My boyfriend, now husband at the time, was still in school. So I was pretty much good staying in Duluth. And she actually got a job.
in Minneapolis area. So I moved down to Uptown area for maybe a little over a year I was down there. But at the time I was also dating my now husband and he was living in Duluth. So we were doing long distance. My sister was up in Duluth. So it was like, it's time to get back to Duluth for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if you said it, but two questions. It's industrial engineering, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask what that is in a second. But another question. Do you have any other siblings?
We have an older brother.
Oh, okay. Does he feel left out of this conversation and others?
No, we also had an older sister growing up. She passed away when we were young,
no, I'm sorry.
and she was 17. So it was always like those two and us two. Like my mom, I used to ask my mom, like, how'd you ever have twins? And she's like, well, you have to remember, Jorgen and Kashana, like when you guys were eating, one of them would have one of you and the other one would be helping the other. So she's like, you had like little buddies growing up the whole.
And they would entertain us and
Yes.
stuff.
So it was always those two and us two. Yeah.
How much older is your brother than you two?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, that's pretty close.
Yep.
Is he still around? Is he still in the area?
He's in the cities area, but we're all pretty
Very
close.
close.
that's all
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
So industrial engineering. What is industrial engineering for those that may not have heard of it or know?
I'm gonna let Ally
So it's
take
not
it.
as common as electrical
It
engineering.
really, yeah,
or
it isn't
mechanical engineering.
common. But it's essentially like process optimization and time utilization. So how do I utilize my resources the most efficient way, the safest way, and the most quality? And it's really focused on processes. So, I always thought of it as like you're not sitting behind designing something, you're looking at processes and making them better.
Yeah. I
The,
like that.
the joke in school is mechanical engineers make things, industrial engineers make things better. So,
Oh.
It tracks.
yeah.
So then, did you ever think about trying to work together at the same business, or was it always like a clear disconnect when you entered the workforce that you were going to go in different directions?
I think for a little bit, I was in manufacturing, my first job, so we were kind of both in the manufacturing world. And it's not that I didn't like it, but I don't think I felt it was like right for me. So I kind of made the complete shift into oil and gas. I'm not sure how that happened exactly, but and I think the way Ally's stays more in like the manufacturing, and I really just use my industrial engineering education and foundation for project management. So like it kind of just worked out better. And I don't know. I don't think we ever tried to work although we have a dream of someday
opening our own consulting firm. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Just
that's awesome.
working together. But I've mentored a couple like high school girls that are looking into engineering, and I always tell them, like, industrial engineering is a great degree because you can do so much with it. Like, it's not really confining. And so, yeah, I mean, engineering in general is a great degree.
Yeah, I don't know many people that got that industrial engineering degree. Phil Powers, our founder at Lake Superior Consulting, he was an industrial engineer. And I probably can't name any others that I can think of. And there's going to be some that work at LSU. They're like, you know that I am. And I just forgot probably. But
do you want to know why we kind of picked that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
It's a really good reason.
I don't know this reason.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Well,
if you don't, you will.
We wanted to study abroad.
Oh, yes.
There aren't a ton of options for very technical engineering options when you do the study abroad programs. But a specific professor at UMD worked with a school in Luleå, Sweden. And he set this up like probably 10, 15 years before we even got to school. And he set up this exchange program within industrial engineering only. So you could have, English classes. You basically take 5 kids from UMD, 5 kids from Luleå, swap them. And so like literally that's kind of how we decided on the type of engineering we wanted to do.
You wanted that opportunity to study abroad.
I know that's not the best option.
You couldn't have been like
I don't hate
a
it.
structural engineer and done the study abroad program. There was no
Not
exchange.
at UMD. So this was a specific program that was at UMD. So
Yes.
So did you end up studying abroad?
yeah, we lived
Together?
in Sweden for a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You said plus you feel like what?
I was just saying, plus I felt like once I took high level IE classes, I was like, oh yeah, this is the kind of engineer I want to be.
You're right. It was probably the right pick, but
It was like
I think
a little
that was a
guided.
strong reason for it.
Yeah.
You weren't like 8 years old going, we should be industrial engineers together.
No.
No, I think my math teacher was like, Ally, you're good at math. You should be an engineer. And I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Let's go.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So you worked, you said, in Superior at a manufacturing facility.
Yes.
And then you're at Labounty now. Any other background to that story and maybe what you do?
It is a
how
fun.
you've grown.
It's a fun background. So I spent 10 years working for Genesis Attachments in Superior, makes same product as Labounty. We had some changes and I left, and I spent the last 6 years as a consultant. So I was on the road solely in the state of Minnesota, traveling to manufacturing companies, mostly really small ones that don't have resources, and just was helping them become more efficient and better quality, and helping them with strategy, things like that. And then got the call that Labounty was looking. It was interesting. It was a great opportunity. And yeah, I've been there since November.
So, and then when you were doing the consulting work for 6 years, was that your business?
No, I was working for an outfit out of Minneapolis that is part of a larger federal network, actually. So it was, I think, maybe like 12 of us consultants that just covered the state of Minnesota. So,
In your role today now with Labounty,
yes.
You say it's, what are you doing on a daily basis?
Day-to-day basis, just trying to get more product out the door, lead the team. I have a great team there, implement new processes, and try to align with the new organization that bought us out a few years ago.
Is there any, most manufacturing, so I worked a little bit in manufacturing a couple different times, and mostly it was males in the
Yes.
plant, and I have to go here. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Any challenges in sort of showing up as the smartest person in the room and explaining how you might be able to do things differently than you've done them before? I just feel like there might be difficulty in that, and like getting that message to land and people to embrace and adopt what it is you're recommending.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, usually I kind of try to go back to like the fundamentals, right? Like, this is why lean manufacturing works, and this is a best practice. And then, if I still see some resistance, then sometimes I just kind of push people like, what's the harm in trying? If we can model it, if we can try it, if we're not going to be, have a safety issue, let's just try this method out. And that usually gets people thinking. But in terms of, kind of the male dominance, I've honestly worked in manufacturing so long, I kind of forgot. Mm-hmm. But I do remember my early years. Not very many females. I think, of the graduating class from UMD, there was like seven of us of, all of engineering.
More, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Out of all of engineering?
Yeah, probably.
Not just industrial.
Yeah, I think that was a mechanical and industrial because we had a lot of combined courses and professors. So I don't know if that was all engineering. It might have just been MEs and IEs.
But I think
it's gotten better with time, you feel?
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, now I we have female welders out on the floor. They are awesome. And it's funny, my supervisor for the weld shop, he said, Ally, he's like, if you would have told me, 20, 30 years ago when I started out as a welder that I'd be managing, 2-3 women like that are, in their 20s welding, he's like, I wouldn't have believed you. So it is awesome, but it's still male dominated, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Absolutely.
So now, Taylor, you're also in, I would say, a male-dominated industry.
Yep.
What do you experience? And do you guys swap notes or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of agree with Ally. I almost don't notice it anymore.
Yeah.
I think I was more like aware of it when I was at my previous job because I was in the field more.
Sure.
And I think there's even more of that sense in the field. And I actually felt like always, thought of making sure Taylor feels comfortable, making sure everyone's speaking, correctly and not, making her feel uncomfortable. Like I feel like they always had my back. A lot of the older guys, honestly. So I didn't really notice, anyone not listening when I spoke. And I think like they just wanted us in the industry, and I think it feels that way. Like the diversity and just having more inclusion, I think it's like pretty well paved for anyone that wants to get in it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And so you worked.
So I don't have any bad stories, honestly.
Well, you worked. That's good. That's great news.
Yeah,
you worked. Well, you worked from I think a really good company before coming to LSC.
Yep.
And so where were you before? What were you doing? And then you came over to LSC. And how did that transition look like for you?
Yeah. I used to work for Enbridge, and I was kind of at the tail end there. I was in projects, in the projects group, and I was doing a lot of traveling, and I was just interested in kind of trying out the consulting side. So I'd been on the owner operator side, working with consultants, and so kind of saw an opportunity with Lake Superior Consulting and thought it would be fun to try out. And it's been it's very different, but a lot of the same. End goals, obviously. A little more fast paced, a little more variation in the different projects and people that you interact with. So I've really enjoyed it for sure.
And she enjoys not traveling to Oklahoma every other week because she was really sick of that.
Yeah. I was
How long did that
visiting
go on for?
beautiful Cushing, Oklahoma.
Cushing.
For about 6 months on, 6 months off.
Cushing's
I did
hard
some stints. So yeah.
You can't really fly right there either, right?
No, either
Tulsa.
Either Tulsa or Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma
Thank
City.
you. I
That's
was
right.
like, it's really
I usually
easy.
did Tulsa,
it's a really
but
easy
I have
one.
done Oklahoma City too.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like you moved back from the cities, you'd be in the same town again. Your boyfriend at the time, husband now, was here. So you're in or did you move to Two Harbors, or are you commuting to Two Harbors up 61?
I'm commuting.
That's a beautiful drive.
It is a beautiful drive. The sea smoke lake this morning was beautiful. That's coming down the
was.
hill.
Isn't that awesome?
Yep.
No, the drive is easy. It's nice. No, I live right in Duluth, right by UMD, actually.
Okay.
Very close to campus.
And I recently bought a house.
Okay.
Near UMD.
It's
Oh,
down
so
the
your
street.
houses are near each other.
It just so happens to be
It's not a duplex, is it?
No, we're not that
our
crazy.
backyards butt up to each
No.
other.
Yeah, we can hop the fence to each other's houses.
Yeah.
That is lovely.
Yes.
So you did that on purpose, obviously. Or was
It was
it
like
kind of like a
kismet.
random plus
So
kismet?
we actually knew the neighbors that she bought the house from. Our neighbors were selling their house, and they wanted to upgrade their house because it's a little bit bigger. And they knew our neighbors. So where the people who lived in Taylor's house moved to next to me. And so then I was like, hey, Taylor, they're selling that house. It's a cute, gorgeous little house. And so then she looked at it and loved it, and Kyle loved it. So it was not planned, but it was
perfect.
It was like
a
just
happy
this,
accident. Yeah, like it just
Weird
worked out really well.
And you said you had daughters. You both have kids?
Yeah. I have one daughter,
and I have two, 9 and 6.
and then we have a 3.5-year-old.
3.5.
I have to say 3.5 or she will correct you.
Yeah.
It's not 3.
And so that's kind of nice. I mean, living next to each other, they get like built-in friends.
Oh, yeah.
They get along pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool. But all girls?
All girls.
All right. Cool. And you have all girls too, right?
I have 3 girls.
Three
Three?
girls.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
3 girls.
How old are they?
4, 7, and 9. We just went through some birthdays.
Oh,
got one coming up. I
did the same thing. I was I almost said 7, but she's not 7 yet.
Yeah.
I was so tired this week. It was like a long week. And somebody asked me at one point, and this is after like a long time awake, was like, how old are your kids? I was like, 8 and 6. I was like, wait.
Like, that's not right.
No. 10 and 8. Wait. 10 and 9? I was like, oh my gosh.
That's bad.
Just give me a second. I had to really think about it.
Both girls?
A boy. Older one's a boy. Yeah,
okay.
No.
Well, that would have been funny if we all had girls, but.
So do you do you exchange notes? Because your role today, Taylor, is like, it's really about leadership. Mm-hmm. Project management still, but it seems like evolving more into training others to be effective project managers, while also building process around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you have the opportunity to create as well. Do you guys exchange notes at all? Or?
So do you remember the strategy session? My first strategy session, Ally was doing her consulting, and so she goes into these places and like literally thinks strategically or helps them think.
Is this when we traveled to
Memphis? This was Memphis.
For?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
No, not Memphis, because I didn't have to present. The first one that I was like in my new role.
You were in Arizona. Were you in Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep, I remember that now.
So I had Ally help me with the slide.
I'm pretty sure we had beers over the slides.
Yeah,
Nice.
basically like help me look
through
at.
Yeah.
I did a little run through because I wanted her insight. So we definitely trade.
We do talk about work a lot. Mm-hmm. Work problems. What would we do? Or sometimes just vent.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
Venting is.
Hopefully there's not too much.
It's always like involving Ryan is crazy and he said this.
Yeah, that's probably, that sounds right. So I'm not even mad.
No.
Well, as industrial engineers, I have to, and it just occurred to me, but I have to ask, is there a threat of AI taking over anybody's job or improving efficiencies, or have you leveraged it, either of you?
Probably not as much as I should. I think about it a lot, and we have, people, you said like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm not the smartest. My team's the smartest. I just help kind of lead them, but they're really invested in it, and they've been doing training, and they have a lot of great ideas.
How are they using it?
Love to use it, like just data analytics and things like that. Okay. Even just like our company, we have a lot of resources, and they made like a change management co-pilot bot.
It's like a Teams Microsoft product.
Charlie the agent.
Yeah.
I broke Charlie. You're supposed to ask him 3 questions, and the second one had like a technical error. And then I tried again, and he figured it out. But just making more agents and data analytics is a lot of it. We probably could be doing more, but a lot of our infrastructure and systems aren't even set up to use AI. So I think it'll be a while before, some jobs might get changed. I don't think they'll go away. I just think they'll evolve.
Well, in industrial engineering, and you correct me because you're kind of more in the thick of it, but it's like people, process, tools. You can't take away, one and still have the others, right? It's all about combining those 3 and making so you can't completely.
No, AI is a tool, and if you don't have the right method to implement it and strategy around it, it'll just fail. So you still need the people to lead the charge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It just seems to me like what's that? Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you guys use AI a lot at LSC?
Mm-hmm. We're starting.
Do you guys have an agent?
I haven't. Well, like I've used it for silly things, or it's like, well, that made it way easier. Like, so for example, I don't do this very often anymore, but like I was at a conference and it took like 9 pages of notes, handwritten, single space, cursive. Hate to ask anybody to have to type this up, and it takes me forever to do it. I just scanned it, take the PDF, toss it in AI, and say, "Can you interpret this and write it?" And it's like just boom, spits it all out. I do one proofread, I have to make a correction here and there, and it's done.
That's nice.
And so that's been really nice because it's just like, it's almost like more efficient than dictation even. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of thing I've used it for, which is not like. It's more like efficiency rather than game changing. Yeah. For me. Yeah. But also we used it at a strategy session. This was actually really nice, and we had some learnings here. We talked for 2 days. There was like a group of people together for our corrosion control team at an offsite, and we basically just turned on Teams. We joined a Teams meeting. We turned on Copilot, hit the transcribe and record button, and we just sat around like this and talked. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, every time we took a break, we stopped. We stopped it and then started it. We just kind of recorded the sessions. at the end of it, I was like, hey, asked AI, you got the transcripts. I said, can you summarize all these? And it just spits out a 10-page document that summarized everything we talked about. And I was like, okay, now can you pull out the key themes?
Yeah.
And then it lifted out the key themes. And then I was like, well, this is crazy. Put it into like 4 bullet points. You had 9 hours of conversation and thematically, here's what you were talking about. And I was like, well, this is great. Can you make me a PowerPoint? And then it spins for a minute. And it kicked out a PowerPoint that and then you can go in and you can say, add more detail or less detail, more high level or more graphics, and it was phenomenal for that. I didn't type a single thing.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of efficiency style applications that have worked really well, but we have a person who's phenomenal with it. I really enjoy hearing him talk. He's created some pretty cool tools.
Yeah.
He's going to be on in a couple weeks.
Casey will be on in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you might have to catch that episode because he's going to probably blow my mind. And he's is going to sound. I'm like I'm not even novice. Whatever the step below that is. And he was like, well, I'm like, hey, AI didn't really work for me when I was trying to do this. He's like, well, you're using the wrong AI tool. He's like, if you want to do what you're trying to do, you should use this one. And if you want to do this other thing, you should use that one. And so apparently there's all these other tools that have different specialties today. And he's found ways of sort of using or levering the different ones for whatever it is you're trying to do. And that's been interesting. But he's created new technology, like software, and he said, the way he said it to me, and I'm going to steal his thunder, but I just love it. He was like, I've always been a tinkerer in my garage. I used to build things, but I could never program. I didn't know how to program. And now AI programs for me. I can build anything and everything I ever wanted because it does it for me. And he just through iterative processes can do just about anything. And so some of the tools we've built in the company, and when I say we, I mean he, it took like a process that we've been doing for 20 years manually with spreadsheets. And, we're not in a position to go hire a software development company to come in and build custom software for us. Can't make that investment. And in weeks he builds it and it works. And it's a tool where we just take native raw files, drop them in, and it just spits out things that are client ready.
Like proposals and scope. Because I remember when I was in consulting world, the least favorite thing that I did was write a scope of work. It was
you just start with the most
to do the work.
You just start with the most similar project that you did before, and you just kind of redo that one.
Yeah,
that's what we all do. They're working on that actively, but no, this is like massive amounts of data.
Okay,
graphed, analyzed, and commented on, and where you can actually just drag and drop the file and then print it to PDF. You can do it's crazy how easily it works, and it's a tool we actually made free for anybody in the world. We put it on a page of our website that's accessible. It was like, hey, why don't we just make this free for everybody? Because this is game changing for us. And there's a lot of other consultants out there that wrestle with the same thing around an area that has low quality control for the industry so that, I think customers don't get the great benefit. There's original talks about selling it. Hey, do we make this a saleable product or do we just use it internally? And it's like, well, let's just make it free and put it out there. So, that's really cool. There's a huge sense of pride that comes from that. And I didn't even know AI made it. I'm like, Casey's a genius. And he is still, but I was like, once he told me, he's like, well, I just used AI to make this for us. I was like, oh my gosh. It still takes the person, like you said, but it's a long answer, but so we're using it. And so now it's about I think we're ready, but it's about, okay, we have so much, energy is finite. Time is a precious commodity. What are the limits? There's limitless things we could go do with this. What should we go do? And what do the priorities look like? I think that's where we're at. But we've created a position, and now he's in a role where he's supposed to do that as a job.
Yep. And I think to your point, the resounding priority for a lot of people was proposal development. Yep. So that's been a fun one that he's been working on, and fun to test it out for sure. I was just going to say, as a project manager, I facilitate a ton of meetings. And so the Copilot notes, is game changing.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to facilitate a meeting and you're trying to share your screen and make sure you got someone's action items, make sure you copied that or took note of the decision. So it's the most simplest one, but I think it saved my sanity just for not having to worry about making sure I have everything documented. So if I haven't used that, that's
I just like it, not even necessarily to facilitate meetings, but I deal a lot with people in Germany, and sometimes I can't understand their accent. And so then I'll have it like be transcribing as I'm talking to them. And so if I miss a word, I just kind of glance down, which has been very helpful, because otherwise I'm saying what every like 3 minutes. And that's not helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We had, I forgot it. I was thinking about Germany and transcription. I mean, that's really cool. I like it. And I've completely lost my train of thought. So what questions do you have for us?
Can you tell us apart?
Yes, I can now.
Yeah.
Now I can.
So now if you see Ally out, will you be able to say, hi, Ally?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Well, I have a question because I'm not in the LSE family. What's like the future of LSE? What are you guys' goals? Next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, 3
That's
to 5
a great
years.
question, guys.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I'm looking at you.
I'm a guest, so
Yeah, what are your goals? You're the guest. I get to ask you.
no, I think we like set a lot of really good like strategic goals at our strategy session for growing. I don't know how much detail I want to get into or we want to get into, but kind of like honing in on certain markets that we excel in, and then which ones we want to kind of focus on, that we see real like opportunity with clients, growth, profitability, and a need, right, for our services. So without getting into the nitty gritty, that's how I see kind of our team, my team. You know, I've been working on building a team of project managers and kind of setting the bar higher and higher each year as we continue to hone in our project management skills. So yeah, that's my little piece of the puzzle in a nutshell.
So interesting to follow up. So in manufacturing, like, you know, we have similar goals. Like we want to grow, we want to be profitable, all that fun stuff. But our biggest roadblocks across all of manufacturing is, you know, labor pool, you know, not investing enough in information or automation, so being behind, things like that. What are the roadblocks in like the LSC world or the consulting world?
Yeah, I think I need to just raise my hand and say probably clarity of mission and vision and how we get there. You know, I think I don't feel like we've had difficulty getting, like we have amazing people, I feel like, at our company. I'm impressed by everybody I meet all the time. And I think that's rare in organizations. And, you know, I'm just like, we've got all the talent in the world. You know, we're just so excited to do whatever the customer needs. Like there's like a real service first mentality that I've seen that we've kind of crept and gone really wide and do a lot of different things. I sat in front of a very large company one time. You would know them well, not local, but in Texas. And I was telling them all the things we do. And it was like, yeah, we do, you know, we can do this. It's all the problems we can solve for them. And this is a massive global organization. And sort of at the end, there was a VP in the room and he was like, everything you're saying sounds really good. Like we need this desperately. Do we have an MSA with you? Can we hire you now? Like we cannot find service providers that can help us. We're like talking through it. I'm like, this is going great. And then he's like, by the way, how big is the organization? I haven't heard you guys. And I was like, we're like 350 people. And he was like, it is not worth the ink to even think about a contract with you. You can't touch anything we do with that size of a team. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that felt terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just like you get this mental block that you can't go work for this massive global organization because there's no place for you. There's no value you can bring in. It took me years to really reflect on that differently and say, hey, listen, that wasn't a them problem. That's a me problem and how I was presenting myself. So changing that narrative, instead of saying, hey, you know, these things, you have a lot of that and you have a big need for specialty and consulting and we're here to help you. Where they need, you know, several thousand people they could consume daily pretty easily. I should have said things like, you know, we're an intentionally small group of highly specialized individuals that come in and help you solve your greatest challenges in ways that don't require significant resources. You cannot do those things at scale. We couldn't be 5,000 people and be specialists. That's not really what we're trying to be. So I mean, it was really in the message and the storytelling on my side was wrong. So I didn't set up the, you know, positioning right where they looked at me and said, well, this is what I want to hire. I was trying to sell the volume. And he's like, you don't have the volume. You can't do this many things. And so I think we've done two things. One is, or we're working on two things in my mind. One is not only probably narrowing the focus on what it is we can really drive an impact for, but also getting better about the stories we tell and understanding our value proposition, how we bring it to market. I have no doubt in our ability to deliver on resources, considering the strong culture we already have. It's just a matter of organizing around that message.
Telling the story, yep.
So we're putting a lot of energy into that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Does that make sense to you?
No, that totally makes sense. That coming out of the strategies or the business planning sessions, the key themes that came out of it, technology, we've already hit that with AI, and developing those tools, I think. Messaging, high level, I think that's what it was. But I mean, that's better telling the story. And we've done that by focusing on what we know we do, our strengths and where we want to be, how we can partner with our clients, but taking our message, understanding our story, understanding our clients, and then relaying it in story form. And then what's the last one? Do you remember what the last one is?
I was just absorbed in what you were talking about.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I think just the metric side of it. If
Oh
you
yeah,
cover that.
probably. Yeah, so it all ties together with that. But
Then we know
for me-
we're measuring or
Yeah.
actually checking in, right?
And
Yes.
not just like, to me, it's like two levels. One, there's internal metrics, but the one I'm really excited about is customer metrics, especially tying back on the storytelling. Like, when you hire us, here's what you can expect to happen. But we have to have evidence of that. And so that might sound really tricky, but what are the things you can measure internally that we can say, these are what we affect for our customers, and then show that to our customers to demonstrate our value, if that makes sense. So there's a really good example that comes to mind. Maybe I'll put in no example. We've been doing a project for a customer for 10 years, and it's a recurring type of project that every year it has to go get done. And we graphed it, and every year our bill rate has gone up. A couple of years it stayed flat, but for the most part, the trend line is our bill rates increase. Coincidentally, every year their spend, at first it came down year over year, and then it kind of tapered off and it's kind of leveled. And that's not even thinking of things like inflation. So they've been spending the same amount of money every year, which is actually less money when you think about it, despite the fact that our rates have been increasing because we've gained efficiencies. And a similar graph is one where they have issues on their system year over year have come down. And so those issues on their system are almost non-existent, to a point where we've tapered off and maybe our costs are slowly creeping back up after 10 years. But we were running into a situation where they were saying your rates are too high. Your hourly rates are too high. There are competitors out there that charge less. If you don't come up with a solution, we might need to look a different direction. And it's like, you stop commoditizing us. Like, the reason, even though our rates are high, your spend year over year is going down. And you kind of had to, you get new people that you're working with and supply chain, trying to tell that story was hard. It was really bred from a defensive position. And now I want to go on offense and say, well, wait a second, if we're doing these awesome things, why aren't we carrying that message forward and saying, what are your goals as an organization? What are the metrics you track? Or what is the data you can give to us so we can show you what your trailing performance has been? Sign an NDA, and then we can maybe create a plan for you on how we can affect those metrics in a positive way. And here's where we've done that before for other customers. That's really more consulting. And I think we've kind of drifted from that approach and gotten more into, can we bid on your projects, which is more, it's not consulting, it's contracting. And so I think it's kind of get back to basics on that. So for us, growth isn't like hire more people. Growth is, change our approach a little bit, maybe retool the foundation a bit, and then, expand beyond that. Hopefully that makes sense.
Let's get back to twins.
Yeah.
And your husbands. Are they buddies? Do they have side conversations about, the twinisms and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. They're friends.
Yeah.
I think they were both in each other's wedding.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Were they friends before you?
No.
No, they're friends because of you guys.
No.
Yeah, okay.
So we met Kyle, Taylor's husband, all working at Little Angie's during college.
So you worked together
So
too.
we all knew each other,
Okay, yeah,
and then my husband came into the place. So
And did he work there too?
No.
Okay.
I cannot picture him working in the restaurant industry.
Are there any, what does he do? If I can ask?
He's a clinic manager for Essentia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and Taylor, what's your
Kyle is a high school teacher.
Oh, fun. fun stories all around. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are there any like taboo no-nos, like things that bother you? Are there things that irritate you?
When people say,
with respect to you being twins.
I mean, like the joke is like people are like, oh, you're the same. You have the same personality. It's like, whoa, no.
We don't actually.
No, not at all.
So don't say things like you're just like your sister. So
well, I think like certain things we're similar for sure. Obviously, we have similarities, but yeah, just saying like if Ally thinks this is what Taylor's
like
going to
making the assumption,
making assumptions.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Because we do agree on a lot of things, but not everything.
One other thing that growing up was really annoying. Our brother and his friends would call us Tally because they didn't want to decide which one was which, so we were one name. So definitely don't call us one name.
Yeah, that's rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess people aren't really. Can't think of anything else besides.
So like the accidental can't tell you apart.
Growing up, I used to get a little frustrated because like our grandma couldn't tell us apart. We had an Amma and a grandma. Amma's Icelandic for grandma. She could tell us apart, but my grandma couldn't. And it always bothered me a little. And then I kind of like let it go. I was like, whatever. She's older. And
is there anybody today that just doesn't get it, or at times like thinks one of you is the other?
Every once in a while, my in-laws they'll see Taylor and just, especially my father-in-law.
Yeah, he thinks
it's completely unintentional, but
that happened at soccer.
He probably like gave her a hug and thought it was me, which is fine.
I don't care.
Yeah, you lean into the embrace.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a hug?
No, that's true. I totally forgot
just
that
accidental.
He does that a lot.
What about like audio, like verbal? If you're talking on the phone. Because I mean, visual is one thing, but it's got to be harder without that visual key.
But you don't have everyone's got the who's calling,
well, that's a good point.
Yeah,
but I've picked up my phone, or I picked up Taylor's phone when my dad called.
Oh, that's sturdy.
I'll talk to him for 5 minutes, and I'll be like, this is Ally, right? And he's like, why didn't you tell me? Why did you pick up Taylor's phone? I'm like, because you can't tell us apart, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, that'd be much harder. I'm sure there's people that have like, I have to watch this episode. I can't actually listen to this episode.
They don't know which one's talking.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have our husbands listen and see if they know who's talking. Well, they know our
stories, so they're going to.
That's true. That's true.
I'm sure there's a lot more stories that we didn't get to, and they probably have quite a few stories as well.
Yeah, probably.
There's a lot. There's a lot of weird things that have happened to us that, like, I'll buy a shirt and then like a week later she'll buy the shirt but in a slightly different shade or something.
But did she know you had bought it?
No, and she had no idea.
Oh,
actually, I do have one really weird story.
Okay, I have one more thing to say after that.
Okay. It's just always interesting. So Taylor, we were big soccer players. We were playing indoor soccer on old turf at the deck, and it was terrible. Anyways, Taylor tears her ACL. Gone. We're on the same team. 2 weeks later, guess who tears her ACL?
You did.
Me.
No
Gone.
way.
So
same leg.
Yeah, surgery buddies. And then, but the scary thing is, I tore my ACL again 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So I just had surgery. So I keep telling Taylor, like, don't play soccer.
Soccer.
Be like on the up and up because, I re-tore mine. So that's kind of like our funny story is, not very many people tear their ACL. So then it's kind of weird that we did it within 2 weeks of each other.
This winter.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is back to like our husbands and if they're friends and what they think about twins. There's this, it's not like creatively named whatsoever, but there's a time where we need twin time where like I'll be frustrated at home, Ally's frustrated at home, or we miss each other. And we'll just have to be like, guys, we need twin time. Like this is happening tonight. We need to go get a beer. We need to like go over to each other's house. So when it like, if it gets to that level and they're like, oh, they need twin time. Like
they can feel it.
That is going to happen. That's a priority number one to keep the peace between both families.
That's kind of sweet.
It kind of leads me to something
really
else,
sweet.
Especially considering we have so many, at least in our company, and I'm sure every company's like this, really, family members that have young children that are identical twins. If you could give them some advice, just maybe as a final thought here, or parting thought, what advice would you give them from your perspectives that their kids maybe can't ask them for today?
Ooh,
or they haven't thought of yet?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know that I'd give advice any different than if it was siblings versus twins. And I said this to my girls all the time, is cherish your siblings. Like, they're your family.
No, he's asking for advice for the parents.
For the parents.
Oh, for the parents. I'm sorry. I think you meant for the twins.
If I wasn't clear. So, like, what can the parents,
I started
what should
thinking
the parents
about
do or
it.
make sure they not do any advice for them?
I would say maybe push them to, try different activities that aren't the same and, be in different like classrooms. That's 100%.
Yeah.
I think it might have been fun if mom and dad had pushed us a little bit to like try like
different sports
or different activities. And maybe they did. We just never listened. I mean, it's totally possible that they did. But yeah, maybe try to make sure that they can like get a little bit of that individualness because they will be lumped together forever.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, or even just like quality time. Like I think back to like growing up in high school and stuff. Like we'd go on a trip with my mom, we'd go on a trip with my dad, but we were always together. Like I don't remember ever really like traveling or doing anything separate with my mom. And I think she like would want to too. She also had 4 kids, so I don't think that was also as realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
maybe make sure you have a date night with just one twin.
Yeah, that's really good. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's advice I could take. Even
without
without twins.
I should take that advice as well.
Yeah,
Well,
very cool.
I really appreciate you, or we really appreciate you being on. I mean, identical twins, crushing it in life and in work. Congratulations. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having
joining
us.
us.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Manic Energy, where the only constant is change. If you're fired up, do us a solid. Follow the show, leave a quick review, or send it to a friend. Got questions, ideas, or a topic you want us to dig into? Drop us a line at the link in the show description. Thanks for riding the current with us. Until next time, stay charged.